What is going on, guys? It's Suspect here bringing you guys a brand new YouTube video, and if I look tired or sound tired, one, it's because everyone is still asleep at my house, and two, I am tired. It is 9 in the morning at the time of me making this video because last night MLG Las Vegas did not stop streaming my time until about 2 or 3 in the morning, and I fell asleep during the winners semifinal between FaZe and Rise, so there's that. But you guys know what time it is. I usually like making these prediction videos on the Sunday, or really late at night when the stream ends on Saturday. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about it, go ahead and make some more predictions and see where it is that my predictions landed from last video. So a lot of the times you guys, you get somewhat active in the comment section, but more so I see your involvement in the ratings. I actually get more dislikes on those types of videos. I get a little bit more likes on those videos only because you guys are very, you're very opinionated about the teams that you enjoy and stuff, and that's completely fine. But anyway, looking at how the bracket ended up now, I'm looking at it. In the winners quarterfinals, you did have FaZe versus Splice, Rise Nation versus Luminosity, Cloud9 versus Elevate, and Allegiance versus Enigma 6. I'm going to be very honest about actually 4 teams. The 4 teams that I slept on were Rise, Enigma 6, Allegiance, and Cloud9. I never would have thought that they actually would have made it, not so much out of pools, but that they would even be advancing further than winners quarterfinals or winners round 1, to be honest with you. So looking at this, as you guys can see, FaZe Clan 3-1 Splice. The energy from the crowd was just there. If you guys did not see that hard point, I think it was 250 to 22 that they beat Splice. Just absolute, that was sheer dominance from FaZe. Their respawn game is on point at the moment, looking really good. Rise Nation, this is basically the old Elevate squad that you guys know from Black Ops 3, except Nagafen is replaced with Looney. So there is that, and not only that, Rise Nation brings on 2 very key leaders, being Vicento and Looney. Those 2 are very good in-game leaders. They call the shots in-game and everything, so it really helps them out. So it's got a lot of form of leadership. They beat Luminosity 3-2. You got Cloud9 versus Elevate. I'm not too sure about the players that are on there. I've heard their names, and if you were to mention them, or if I were to read them, well, I know who they are. But then it's C9, basically the same team that beat Optic Gaming in COD Champs in the losers bracket. They ended up beating Elevate 3-2, game 5. Now I will be honest with you, Elevate, they're brand new squad, and they are really showing up for a European team that I haven't heard too much about. They just, at PSX, they showed up to play. This seems to be the case again with Cloud9, but unfortunately they did fall short. And Allegiance 3-0 Enigma 6. Now this is very weird with the case of Enigma 6, because Enigma 6 actually had to fight through the open bracket, which is arguably the hardest open bracket we have seen up to date for competitive Call of Duty. So aside from that, they did 3-0 everybody in their pool. Allegiance, I think they ended up finishing off 2-1 or something like that. I do believe so in their pool. And Allegiance ended up beating them 3-0. I'm not sure if it was because of the time of day or what. And of course, Glacier did mention before that you do play very differently when you're up on main stage as a side to a side station. But you can't let these sorts of things affect you, even though I could understand how it does. Granted, you are facing Optic Gaming in the main stage. Gotta look good, gotta look on point, and Enigma 6 very much did against Optic with a hot 3-0. Then advancing over to winner semifinals, you had FaZe versus Rise, C9 versus Allegiance. C9 continuously going to game 5s and clutching up when they have to. Might be the reason that they could very much possibly win in this game, but at the same time, it could have a toll on the amount of energy that they have, amount of rest that they get. And that's the thing about these tournaments. You want to try and get rid of your games as quick as possible. Quick 3-0, 3-1 even, because to be honest with you, like, you really need as much rest as you can get, especially on this Saturday when games are just getting crammed in. Championship Sunday, not so much, but going into Sunday from, you know, a very busy Saturday could have a really bad effect on you. C9 does win 3-2. Rise Nation beating FaZe 3-1, which I'm surprised about that. Very, very surprised that Rise Nation was able to defeat FaZe Clan. If you guys didn't see, Clayster was not getting all that hyped up in the game. A lot of the casters were saying it was because of the time of day. They looked tired and everything, which is completely understandable. But again, those kinds of things can't be the things that affect you, even though they're going to. Not much you can do there, so it is what it is. So now for winners finals, you have Rise Nation versus C9. It's a tough call, guys, to be honest. These are two teams that I slept on. I didn't expect them to get even further from winners quarterfinals, to be honest with you. They're getting it now, winners finals. This is why I enjoy competitive Call of Duty, just to the fact that it's not the same teams winning over and over and over again. It's completely new. We haven't seen Rise Nation or C9 have any success since the beginning of Black Ops 3, to be honest, or C9 even any success. I do kind of see Rise Nation taking it for the most part, only because the thing with C9 is that they're winning their searches. They're winning those game 5s, and Rise Nation, if they're beating a team like FaZe and Respawn, which is who are arguably showing up the most during Respawn, and they are hitting the numbers that they are, you know, just take the hard points. And you know, even then, I'm not even saying that Rise Nation doesn't stand a chance in the S&Ds, because they very much do. They're a very solid S&D team. So is C9. I don't know who I give the edge to, but I do give the edge to Rise Nation when it comes to Respawn. That is just me. I do see Rise Nation taking it from C9. If I were to call it, definitely a game 5. Definitely a game 5. It's gonna go to. But I'll go ahead and put it like this. If Rise does not 3-0 or 3-1 Cloud9, if it goes to a game 5, I think Cloud9 takes it. Only because they are so familiar with game 5s, they're so used to the pressure already, and they're just used to clutching up in game 5s. Literally every series that they've played, they've gone to a game 5, and they have won in game 5. That is such a huge accolade and statistic to have going into a tournament like this. So if it's not a 3-0 or 3-1 from Rise, definitely Cloud9 takes it in game 5. Now, looking at how a lot of the losers bracket ended up turning up, I'm just going to go through with it. Complexity, 3-0 Rogue, probably their first win in the entire tournament. Ghosty Crew, 3-0 Lethal Gaming. Revenge, it actually went to a game 5 against Team Infused, which I'm very surprised about. And Panda Gaming, 3-2 from TK. So, TK does advance over to losers round 2. It is now Optic Gaming versus Complexity. Optic Gaming, easy 3-0. Ghosty Crew versus Echo Fox. Ghosty Crew is a winning 3-1. EG versus Team Infused, 3-2. They advance. And Envy versus Team Caliber, 3-2. Now, I forgot to mention to a lot of you people that are new to these kinds of videos, I try not to be biased in these videos, but I am a very huge Envy fan, but I'm not. I try not to be biased. And of course, I'm not a huge fan of Optic, so I'm not trying to be biased on that. So, you now have losers round 3, Optic Gaming versus Elevate, Enigma 6 versus Ghosty Crew, Evil Geniuses versus Splice, and Luminosity versus Team Envy. I'm gonna be very honest, guys. Like, and then with that being said, I'll go ahead and switch over to the newer bracket. This is what it is now, and you have FaZe Clan and Allegiance over in losers round 5. This is by far one of the most stacked losers brackets I have ever seen in competitive Call of Duty. So many upsets. E.g., you have Study, Nameless, Nagafin, Havoc, Luminosity, Octane, Slagged, Saints, Envy, JCap, John, Apathy, Optic Gaming, the Crim6, Karma, FaZe, Clayster. You have so many insane players down in this losers bracket. It's just insane to see. Optic Gaming versus Elevate. Optic Gaming, I'm just gonna say this. They are not showing up at this event. They are a very lackluster team. Not seeing anything from Crim6, not seeing anything from Karma. If anything, Formal is the only one having a good event. But if you can't have just one person having a good event, and especially with how Scump has been performing, very lackluster, going negative in respawn modes, which we're not used to him. Like, we're not used to him drop, going negative like that. And he's the most consistent player in Call of Duty that I know of. So it's very weird to be seeing him compete like that. and it's not common. Maybe he's just having a bad event and it'll brush over to the next one. I don't think a lot of people are gonna give him too much flack for it, only because he doesn't perform like that usually. That's just me. But with Elevate playing the way that they are, and especially in their S&D, I could very much see Optic Gaming getting eliminated, but I don't. And that's very surprising for me to say. I do not want to see Optic Gaming get eliminated, only because of the bracket on next to them. Enigma 6 versus Gossip Crew. I do think Enigma 6 takes it. I have not seen Gossip Crew play, so that's the only reason I'm saying that, because I've not seen Gossip Crew play. I've seen Enigma 6, and in case you guys don't know, in pools, Enigma 6 3-0'd Optic Gaming very convincingly, very convincingly, and that's why I don't want to see Optic lose. Because if Enigma 6 takes it, we could see a rematch between Enigma 6 versus Optic Gaming, which would be completely insane. And with that, if I were to predict who would win between Optic Gaming and Enigma 6, I would say OG, and that would lead us to a FaZe versus OG rivalry, which we did not see on LAN throughout the entire Black Ops 3 season. That would be exciting. However, Enigma 6 versus FaZe Clan will definitely be interesting. The other side of the bracket, you got Evil Geniuses and Splice. Very close game. These guys, both teams have been, getting very close series in every single one of their matches, but I do think that Splice takes it, only because Evil Geniuses is really squeaking out of their series. I haven't seen much of them. I don't think they've even been on main stage, to be honest with you. So I do see Splice taking it 3-1 or game 5. I do see Splice taking that. Luminosity versus Envy. Now the thing with both of these teams is that they're both good teams. Don't get me wrong. So Luminosity consists of Saint, Classic, Slacked, and Octane, and then Envy consists of John, JCap, Apathy, and Slasher. But the thing with this squad is that they're not really, they only have one player showing up. From what I've seen, Luminosity has Slacked, that's been going completely off, and from Envy, it's John. But my whole thing is that both these teams are either going game 5s, or it's either they dominate or they have to squeak out through the game 5. And they're both in a situation where they're playing sort of lackluster, and the only reason they're staying alive is because of that one player that stands out for their team. I would like to see Envy take it. However, it just depends on what shows up from either team. It really just depends, because if John shows up better than Slacked, I believe I've been saying Slacked this entire time. I hope so. If John shows up more so than Slacked, I could see Team Envious taking it. I can definitely see this going to game 5 also. However, Luminosity, more of a, they have more team chemistry than they do with Envious, so if they were to win, it would be for that reason. And for that, guys, I don't really want to predict it, only to not be biased, because if I do say Envy, a lot of you guys are going to think I'm biased, but if I say Luminosity, it's I'm not so much belief that they will actually win it. But Splice, let's say Splice versus Envy, that would be a rematch from COD Champs that we saw in Black Ops 3 in the final. I would love to see Envy take it. Allegiance versus Envy, I could very much see Allegiance taking that one. So if Envy does beat Luminosity and does beat out whoever wins between Evil Geniuses and Splice and goes up against Allegiance, I could very much see Allegiance taking that one, to be very honest with you. And who do I have predicting winning the entire tournament? Or I'll go ahead and name my top 3 placings. It will be, for sure, Rise Nation and Cloud9 will be in the top 2. But I could see, I'm just going to go ahead and call it. I think C9 takes MLG Las Vegas. FaZe Clan takes the losers bracket final and advances to the grand final. And then Rise Nation gets 3rd. Those are my calls. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.